Why would a gritty cop and a grimy orc ever team up? Well, that's actually something I've been really excited to find out. So we're going to be here with Noomi and Lucy from Bright. You guys released a 30-second teaser trailer for Bright and nothing else. And I'm so desperate to understand what this movie is. It's the biggest scale movie and one of the biggest scale fantasy movies we've seen in a while. What can you set up about what the premise of Bright is for people who don't know?
Oh, wow. It takes place in LA. It has... you know, you can definitely feel like David, you know, like Harsh Times or End of Watch or Training Day. It has that realism and brutality like gangs and cops and all that, but it also has like magic and a layer. They have orcs and elves and humans.
And it's like if the history of the world was these different races of orcs and elves and lizard people and fairies, and it's kind of like taken that setup and brought it into like grungy downtown LA.
Yeah.
And with these two cops, one's
but
an
it's
orc.
nothing you've seen before. Like
That's
it's kind of
saying.
impossible to describe
Right.
because it's just
It's a whole
it's
new
a universe.
world.
Yeah, I feel like we don't really see a lot of like gritty, modern, urban fantasy. Sort of the closest thing I can think of is maybe Hellboy, but that's such like a different type of story.
Yeah.
So what appealed to you guys about this project?
Well, I said yes before I read the script because I just love David, and he was like, I met him and he said he want to work with me, and I was like, I'm in. But and then this world, like I've never read anything like it. I read the script and I completely fell in love with it. So it was like a combination of David and the script, and my character is pretty awesome. She's a villain, but she has like she's the villain, but she has a broken heart. Like she's in pain, she's suffering.
She's so beautiful. She's like
and evil.
But yeah, like, and you watch her and you like feel like she's like this exploding fire of a woman. It's like mind-blowing.
I'm trying to find her through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's sort of what brings you two together. Lucy, tell us a little bit about your character. You play an elf, yes?
Yes, and I've wanted to play an elf my whole life.
Why? What sort of
Since
started
I was
that?
like 10 years old and I read The Lord of the Rings, I was like, this is my life goal. Not even kidding.
You're like, I got it, yes, immediately.
Never told me that.
Didn't I? No. I was really embarrassed.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and so when I found out they were doing this movie, I was like, oh my gosh, life goals could come true. And they did. And my character is an elf, and she used to be a part of the same sort of dark cult as Leela. And can we say that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
sisters.
in the film.
And she, I'm trying to bring her back. You know, we're supposed to be fighting this beautiful war. My
Your
opinion.
warrior, like it's the best
Together.
thing anyone could do.
And my character's sort of just like woken up to the darkness that our war is, and is kind of like trying to figure out how to become good.
What is good and what is bad? I mean, it's so like I love that we're all kind of on the edge. You know, it's very layered. It's not black and white.
So you play an elf as well, then?
Oh, yeah.
Sort of a dark
Yeah.
elf. It sucks that you both clearly like hate each other so much and don't get along. But how did you sort of create that dynamic of like sisterhood, even if they're being pulled apart? throughout the
No,
movie?
we don't. I don't hate her.
No,
I
I'm
love
joking.
her.
No, I was totally joking.
love her.
I was like, you
no,
clearly
but it's
adore
interesting
each other.
though, because it's very like I think we're both very hardworking actresses, and we kind of go all the way in, and it was amazing how we met like in some scenes, like without any protection. It was just like I don't know.
We both get really lost in our characters.
Yeah.
And David told us not to talk to each other.
So
for
we
the
were like
whole,
staying away. I wanted to go and talk to her. I was like, I'm not allowed.
Yeah, we weren't
That's
allowed
what Comic-Con is for, right?
Yeah, it's so
So
good.
now, yeah.
But like in the last week when we finally had like all the confrontation in filming, it was kind of like all this tension had been building up the whole way through the shoot of like facing each other in little moments and not being allowed to talk to each other.
And we both speak Elvish in the
Ooh.
film. Yeah.
Can you give us a sample?
Thala means sister. Thala.
Yeah, so we've been calling
Yeah,
each
so
other
that was
Thala.
like, but also it's interesting because it feels very emotional. Like it's very funny. The film is funny and twisted, but it's also very emotional, which I love.
Yeah.
It's very like.
Well, I love that there is
Yeah.
this dynamic running through it. I also love that you guys will get to talk to each other at Comic-Con. You
Yeah,
won't
we're
have to sit on
allowed.
opposite
We're
sides of the
allowed
panel. You both, it's your first time, so we'll let you get back and enjoy it. I hope you get to get out on the floor. It's crazy. Find some good cosplayers. Thank you so much for coming by
Thank you.
IGN
Thank you
Live.
for having
Enjoy your
us.
panel. And we'll be back to you guys inside.